I need to start like 15 years ago. I was in college and I was like literally having a breakdown. I was washing my hands all the time, and a therapist there said, I think you might have OCD. And he gave me this book. It was by a professor at Penn. And so I emailed her and she said, come in, we're doing a study. So, things happened quickly. I went in and I got into this study for treatment that I wouldn't have otherwise been able to afford at the University of Pennsylvania. And they did this like 300 question test called the Yale Brown Obsessive Compulsive Scale. And it measures how obsessive compulsive you are on a scale of like 0 to 40. I think I got like a 21 or a 22. And I said to them, how do you know I'm not just giving you the answers because I think that I have OCD and I'm skewing the test that way? And they said that that's something that someone with OCD would say. So it was a cognitive behavioral therapy, but it was, I don't know if it was radical or just different than the therapy I had done up to that point. And so the way OCD works is you have these thoughts called obsessions. They're intrusive and they keep coming at you. The only way to get any kind of temporary relief is a ritual, and that ritual can be a thought. Uh, so, like, you think an ugly thought, and then you think a picture of a nice thought, or it can be an action. So, like, a thought, like, oh, I'm unclean, an action, I need to wash my hands. So, I go in and we kind of come up with an action plan of like, what are the things that are most intrusive in my life? And the first thing we realize it's washing my hands because when I go into the bathroom and I wash my hands, I always come back a second time because I didn't think I did a good enough job. And then if I leave that time, I start to think, oh, I didn't wash them good enough. I'm going to get someone else sick. And then if I am able to leave, it'll be, oh, I want to get someone else sick. So I have all these complicated thoughts of like, um, I really don't want to do that. So I guess I better go back in and wash. And so the first thing that happens when I go into this clinic, this guy says, you're not going to wash your hands at all. And I'm like, no. He's like, yeah, for 4 months. If you do, it's okay, but I just want you to record how uncomfortable you are. And at first, it's extremely uncomfortable, but slowly but surely, by taking the ritual away, I realized kind of how ridiculous the obsession is. And it's amazing because at the end of this study, I was washing my hands when I needed to, and I had just about eliminated my OCD. It was great to the point that like it's not a bother in my daily life. I know when to recognize it, and I have all these tools for dealing with it. So fast forward to last week or a couple weeks ago, and they're saying you need to wash your hands all the time. If not, you're going to get other people sick. Don't you feel bad about not doing this? And so it's like all of my biggest fears are coming to fruition. All my biggest fears with OCD are coming to fruition. And so it's like, no, I knew it. Um, and so I'm having this conflict right now where I'm like, this is the worst thing for my brain. Am I going to be able to deal with this? And I was so scared. Um, but so far, it's been okay. Like I've had some minor panic attacks, but I haven't been totally unable to focus, which would have happened in the past. So, most of this story takes place in my head. And I think a lot of the things that are going on right now are um, are kind of what we're thinking and how we're feeling. Um, that's all I got.